Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be repotting two of my ZZ plants. That's right, not one, but two. I'm going to be combining them and repotting them into this huge, very heavy terracotta glazed planter. I'm going to be sharing all of the crucial care tips that you need to know, as well as the soil composition. So if you're into that and a lot more in this video, stay tuned. Alright guys, so these are the two ZZ plants that I'm going to be combining and repotting into that huge planter that I showed you earlier. Now I love a great large ZZ plant. Now these plants are amazing houseplants because they're very easy to care for and they're virtually impossible to kill. So, you know, if you're just getting started or not, it doesn't really matter. These are kind of like a must-have in everyone's houseplant collection just because they are such fantastic plants. Now I've done a whole bunch of videos on ZZ plants and I want to share with you guys a link to one of my most popular. I give really good advice on how to get your ZZ plant to really thrive and flourish. Now I am going to be sharing all of the crucial care tips that you need to know to care for your ZZ plant and just get the best and most out of it. But before I jump into crucial care tips, I want to share with you guys the soil mix and all the different ratios of the different components I'm going to be using in the soil composition for my ZZ plants today, as well as some other really great tips and tricks. Alright guys, so the soil mix for the ZZ plants is really simple, super straightforward. I only have two different things in here. Basically, I'm using a bark orchid mix, and I have about 6 parts of that to 1 part perlite, and that's it. Alright guys, so the next step is for me to get these ZZ plants out of their current pots so that I can transplant them over into this new, beautiful, large container, and I want to give you guys a look at the roots so you can see how these ZZs are doing. Thanks for checking out this video. I'm Tyler, and if you like what you're seeing or you find this video to be useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, or better yet, you can hit that subscribe button. And to really show me some love, click on the bell for alerts and notifications for future content. And oh yeah, don't forget to check out my brand new merch store as well. So guys, here is the first of the two ZZ plants. This one I've had for about 6 years, I believe. Now this was in a bark only mix as well, with a little bit of charcoal and some perlite too. But as you can see, the roots are doing really, really well. This plant, it looks very healthy. The roots are nice and fuzzy, and there are a ton of them. And you can see it just barely had outgrown the current pot that it was in. So yeah, this is fantastic and really speaks to the aeration and the good drainage that a ZZ needs. So guys, a little different of a situation here. This is the second ZZ. Now the soil had less bark. This is the one that was in the nursery container, and as you can see, the soil is a lot more compacted. The roots aren't really getting all of the air and breathability that they really should have. So you can see that there are some dead roots, but there are some really healthy roots as well. So a little bit of a different situation here, and this one was definitely root bound like the other one, so also time to be repotted, but I feel like this one in the new soil mix will be doing a lot better. All right guys, so if you do run into a similar situation where the roots are all right, but they could be a lot healthier and the soil looks really compacted on your ZZ, before transplanting it, it's a really good idea to just take your hands, run them through really gently the bottom and loosen up all of that compacted soil, get rid of it so the roots are nice and free before putting it in the new planter with the bark, so that the air and breathability just increases, and you know, the plant and the roots have some breathing room. All right guys, so it's looking very big and beautiful, and before I kind of go back and backfill all of my bark mix back into this container, it's just a good idea to kind of step back, take a look at how these two plants are looking together, maybe kind of rotate them or move them so that the foliage is kind of, you know, looking great and kind of going in the right direction. So I'm going to just kind of readjust now and then add that mix in. 10. All right, so I did sort of move them around ever so slightly, and now I have them in the spot that I want them. I think they really look good together and kind of the positioning that they're in. So now what is left to do is fill this up with the remaining bark mix that I have and just get those roots covered. But remember, you don't want to really press down it or anything because you do want air to get into that root system. And once I've done that, then we can jump into the crucial care tips. All right, guys, so happy with how it's looking. This thing is huge. I'm gonna have to get Jeff's help to, get it off this table and put it in its final destination. But let me share with you guys the best crucial care tips that I can give you, and the ideal tips for this plant go as follows. In terms of lighting, I like to give my ZZ plants really great bright indirect light. I know a lot of folks say that these are low light plants, but if you really want your ZZ plant to thrive and flourish, it needs some light. Bright indirect light is great. I even go as far as to give some direct morning sunlight for about an hour or so for my ZZ. Now, beyond that, in terms of watering, generally kind of, as a rule of thumb, I like to water my ZZ in the growing season about every other week, and I actually cut back watering during the winter months to probably only about once a month. So you definitely don't need to, water these plants a ton. As far as fertilization, I do like to use slow release pearls. Again, that's something you can do in the spring for the growing season, and these plants don't really need any sort of special humidity setup or situation. So that's great. And if you are interested, please do check out that video that I mentioned before. I have a really good breakdown of how to care for your ZZ plant best. And one final tip, if I may, don't forget to give your ZZ plant and all its leaves a really nice sort of wipe with a damp paper towel. That will really help get rid of dust and help the plant absorb the sunlight. I definitely need to do that on this one because the leaves are getting pretty dusty. Anyways, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. That's it for me. Don't forget to leave a comment down below or hit that subscribe button. Definitely give this video a thumbs up. Oh yeah, missed you guys already. Until the next one.